If you've been thinking about visiting Kidspace Children's Museum in Pasadena, California, stick around while I tell you the good, bad, and everything you need to know about visiting. Welcome to All My Travel Secrets. I can't wait to show you and share with you everything that I learned today while visiting Kidspace Children's Museum in Pasadena. But before we go inside, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Now, let's go inside so that we can see what 3.5 acres of children's fun actually looks like. Kidspace is open Tuesday through Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and they are closed every Monday. But before you go, I would definitely check the website, which is kidspacemuseum.org, because on the day that we went, it was actually a Sunday and they opened at 11 o'clock instead of 10. Before going, I did purchase my tickets online, and as far as prices, general admission for adults is $15.50. Children 1 year and older is also $15.50. Seniors over the age of 62 is $13.50. Infants under 1 and members are free. I know a lot of amusement parks and places are free for children under 3 years old. It's not the case, and keep that in mind when you go to Kidspace because you will have to pay for your younger children to get in, but that's because they're able to have a lot of fun there, so you do have to pay for that. When it comes to tickets, another important thing to note is that there are timed tickets, so you do need to reserve your ticket in advance just to make sure that you are going to be able to get in and have the day you're planning. I was able to purchase a same day ticket this time, but I would not recommend that simply because I have tried that in the past 2 other times and was not able to secure same day tickets. But purchasing tickets is very easy. You simply go onto the website, purchase your tickets. You do have to pay at the time, it's not just a reservation. And a copy of the ticket is then emailed to you, and just show that to them at the gate as you go inside. I mentioned briefly in the beginning that Kidspace is located on 3.5 acres. So when we arrived, just getting in there, looking around at 3.5 acres of interactive kid fun, we had no idea which way to go, where to start first. And with the 3-year-old, looking back, we probably shouldn't have started in the physics forest. I think the physics forest has some great things, but they're a little over the comprehension level of a 3-year-old. So I would say this is better for a kid that's at least 6 years old or has a pretty good understanding of physics. And while she didn't understand everything, we were able to play with a few of the things and have a lot of fun. But like I said, it's kind of what we saw when we came in immediately in front of us. So that's where we ended up. And we did walk through, take a look, and see what they had. We had actually done a little bit of research before going, and we saw an episode of Blippi. So if you guys have seen that episode, you've seen this wheel roll. And we did actually play with that and just kind of conduct a few little experiments, like which one would be quicker. We did, look through the little kaleidoscope telescope that they had there. I did really like that they have so many picnic areas here because while they do have a restaurant, you are able to bring your food. And I wish I had done that. I'd seen quite a few people when we first arrived who were bringing their food out and feeding the family, which, saved so much money. But speaking of food, here's what the setup looks like. They have a great menu for kids, and of course, the items are kind of pricey. We ended up ordering not a quesadilla, but a spaceadilla that was a quesadilla shaped like a spaceship. This quesadilla came with a few tater tots and an orange, and that was about $7. Like most museums, there was a special exhibit and it had a theme to go along with it, which were butterflies. They had these really cute little wings that the kids could strap on them and wear throughout their visit at Kidspace. As we started to get our footing and figure out what we wanted to do and where things were located, we saw these cute little tricycles, and my daughter wanted to ride a tricycle. So we got one. She was able to pick out which one she wanted, and I really liked it because not only was it just very orderly and organized, it was great because they went over rules with the kids, and even though she's little, she's only 3, she was able to understand the rules, repeat them, and follow them. All the children are given a helmet before they can ride, and each time you somebody turns in a helmet, it is sanitized before being given out again the second time. And over in this area, there's a little smaller space with smaller tricycles and just a safer area for small kids. So if you're worried that your kid may not be old enough to keep up on the tricycle race course, there is that smaller area, which is absolutely great for smaller children. As the day progressed, we definitely got more comfortable and just started to have a lot of fun figuring our way around this big, huge maze of fun. So we ended up at the Roberts Pavilion. It's the only indoor area that they have. So we went inside and immediately, we wanted to find where the butterfly exhibit was. She was dressed like a butterfly. So we were like, let's go figure this out. And she found it right away. And it was just a really cool exhibit. It was, of course, everything is interactive and it's okay for them to touch anything, everything. That's what it's made for. So if you even look at these little things on the ground, all of those are pillows. They're shaped like rocks, and I think there's like a big caterpillar one. And the butterflies up top, they're moving back and forth. And all of this they can just touch and play with and jump and reach for and use their imagination. They also had books available in this space and other information for kids to actually get to learn about some different types of butterflies and the process of a butterfly becoming a butterfly. And it was just really, really a cool space to get to check out. It honestly looked like it could have been a photo background, like a photo shoot background or something. There was just so much, and it was really, really well done. If Kidspace is on your agenda, I would absolutely recommend coming during this time where they have this butterfly exhibit. Hopefully, you're able to make it, but if not, I'm sure they'll have something else that's really cool there at the time that you do decide to go. Like I mentioned earlier, pretty much nothing is off limits to kids. This is literally what it's called. It's Kids Space. So they're able to go do touch everything. So for this, we were able to go downstairs and now we were like in a little ant den and you get to crawl up through this tunnel. And I saw this guy coming out and I was like, oh, great, an adult can fit. So now I don't have any excuse that I can't go. So, of course, my daughter is in there screaming, Mommy, Mommy, come on. And I tried my best not to, but then she got scared because it was dark. So I ended up in the ant hole too. And speaking of ending up in things, they have this climbing apparatus thing. So it was really cool. It went up pretty high. In the end, we were above all the rooftops. It was really hot. It's like a skylight at the top of it, but it was cute. It was worth it. And we made it to the top. It's really fun. So if you do have a small kid, I definitely recommend going up there with them and not sending them alone. At this museum, your day is truly what you make of it. So you can choose to sit somewhere and just hang out, or you can choose to spin around in a cocoon. The website says there are over 40 hands on exhibits for children ages 1 through 10. And although we did a lot, we were there for almost 4 hours. We didn't even scratch the surface. And I know that we probably didn't even do maybe 10 or 12 activities. If you're local and in the area, I would absolutely recommend looking into getting a membership. Membership prices start off at $135 for a family of 2, and of course, that price is for the year. One of our absolute favorite activities is always going to be arts and crafts. So when we found this little art room, we loved it so much instantly, and she took right to it. I My only regret is that I left it to dry and completely forgot to pick it up at the end, but we had such a blast mixing colors, painting, and just having a really good time being creative. One thing Kidspace does really well is it hits on all learning styles. It has a little bit of everything for everyone, and it's all hands on. There's nothing that a kid cannot do, should not do. Even this little sand area, it's not actually sand, it's actually like little rubber chips that have been grinded down to look like sand, so you don't have to worry about sand in the hair. It's like they thought of everything here. As great as our time was here, there were a few things that I wish I had known ahead of time, like that there would be water. Make sure that you bring a bathing suit or Crocs or water shoes for your kid. Also, there's going to be a lot of walking around. So make sure that you're comfortable, and if you have like a fitness watch, definitely wear it. Oh, and speaking of the water, I would also bring a beach towel as well so that the kids can dry off after getting wet. I mentioned previously, but I would also recommend bringing your own lunch and plenty of snacks. There is a water fill station, so if you have a hydro flask or some type of refillable bottle, definitely bring it. And if you're coming from LA, remember this is in Pasadena, so it does get a little bit hotter than it usually is in LA. So make sure you have your sunscreen, maybe a visor or a hat. I know the recommended ages are 1 through 10, but I would say that if you have kids a little older than 10, they would still have a really good time. Also, keep in mind that 3.5 acres is huge. So, Kidspace Children's Museum is so big that you're not going to be able to do everything in one day. Trust me, I tried. And even when I thought we had seen everything that there was to see and did everything that there was to do, I noticed this little walkway. So definitely don't forget to go down this walkway that's going to be right on the other side of the tricycle races. And I'm really, really glad that I did go down it because there were so many things that I forgot that we didn't even see. They had like a little outdoor farmer's market where the kids could kind of grocery shop, weigh their items, and most important, they had a little swimming area. My daughter had asked me so many times where the pool was, and I was like, I don't know, maybe that exhibit is closed now. But no, we just hadn't gone far enough. So once we did, we took off the shoes, let her get in, and this is when I really regretted not bringing a bathing suit and some Crocs or something for her to have a good time in, but most of the kids didn't have bathing suits on, so she was just fine and she was supposed to just get a little bit wet. Somehow by the end she was fully submerged in the water, but she had such a good time. Highly recommend it to anybody in the LA or Southern California area. If there's anything I missed, go ahead and leave it in the comments and I will make sure to get back to you. If you decide to go, also let me know. Thanks for watching.